I just told the internet that I signed up to be raped, and this is my long form content about it. If you want to see the video, head on over to my Instagram. Links will be in the description below. If you don't know me, my name is Emily, and I remember choosing coming to Earth. And I've always remembered the choice to come to Earth. I remember choosing my parents, and I remember choosing some really challenging, soul altering, ego destroying experiences, and I'm going to share them with you today. So let's wind it back. Let's wind it back to 1990, September 1990. That's when I came to Earth. What do you mean? You came to Earth? Are you an alien? Maybe. If you look at the term alien, I think it says someone from foreign lands. And if I'm honest, I think all of us are aliens. And if you can get your head on board with those concepts, then this must be a video for you. So what do we want to know? Do we want to talk about what I remember up there? Do we want to talk about the life I've had down here? Most of us don't have the remembrance of choosing life on Earth, and there is a very good reason for that. And I'll talk about the problems that I've had with knowing and holding this choice for the last 35 years. So we have amnesia when we come down, right? All of us are souls. And we choose to come to Earth. Up there are schools. And I know this is going to sound strange, but just stick on board. Stick on board. You don't need to believe everything I'm saying. My intention with all of these videos is that my message and my information may well start to create openings within the mind space. But I'm not here to change you, and I'm not here to change your opinions. But maybe you'll get some wisdom from all of this, and maybe something might just trigger some remembrance for you. So let's dive in. We have schools up there. We learn about alchemy. We learn about minerals. We learn about energies. We learn about things that one might do in the spirit world. Then we come to Earth and we try to do life well. We die. And then we have a review of how our life went. Now, I'm not saying that I know everything about reincarnation. All I'm talking about is what I know about my experience. And I remember coming to Earth. I remember choosing to come to Earth. And I've remembered this choice my whole life. And it has created so many problems for me. So many problems so that I actually shut down this knowing for a very long time. And I chose to believe that I made it up. And the reason why I chose to believe that I made it up is because it was easier for me to get on with life detached from my truth. Now, over time, that created a lot of problems that I'm still working through now. Hence why I'm showing up on your page today. So back in 1990, that's when I chose to be born into my mum and my dad. I chose them for a very specific reason. It was always going to be a very challenging life, and there would always be an option that I wouldn't survive this life. And what I mean by survived is there was a high chance that I wouldn't come into a full knowing and full harmonious energy space within me because of all of the trauma that I experienced. Some of the traumas that I chose to sign up for, most of them sexual abuse. But by the time I was 16, I'd had a very high number of people sexually abuse me, and I'd been raped by 16. I'd left home at 14, and I went back when I was 16 and a half, but eventually, after going back and forth between mum and dad for a couple of years, I finally left at 18 and never went home. The sexual abuse that happened to me happened outside of my family home. It wasn't inside the home. What happened inside the home was more like emotional abuse and just being raised by two people that had very conflicting beliefs, very conflicting ways of parenting, and weren't aligned really in love. So I was brought up in chaos. I was brought up in destruction. I was brought up in emotional stoicism, emotional constipation. No one really talked things out. Everyone would get the silent treatment. It was fucking awful. It was fucking awful. I have better parents, better relationships with my parents these days. Still working on the one with my dad. I mean, it's a weighty story. And I've wanted to share this for many, 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 many years, but there has been other reasons why I haven't shared it. And a lot of it has been down to what I believe to be spiritual and psychic attacks. They are real. I'm not a Christian. I don't really believe in any faiths. I'm more of the universal oneness, and that all of these religious paths eventually lead into this connective point of something higher, a higher intelligence. Seek. I believe that's more Sikh way of living. Sikh. Sikh. Anyway, I generally don't identify with any of these structures. I don't really like to identify with a lot, because I think when you identify with something, you can often trap yourself within that. So I came down to earth and I was sexually abused multiple times, and it had left many, many scars. I grew up in life believing that my sole job on earth was to satisfy a man, that I should bend over and suck it up, that I should put up and shut up. And it wasn't until the last few years, and I'm in my 30s, that I really started to connect into and attune with my own pleasure. Because ultimately, from a very young age, my relationship with pleasure and joy and sensuality, sexuality has been so fucked. It's been so fucked because a couple, quite a few fucked up people chose to use me for their satisfaction. I'm not alone here. There are many of us that have been touched inappropriately. So many of us. And one of the most liberating things that you can do is talk about it. Shame exists in the shadows. Shame tells you not to talk about the things because people might find out that you're bad or wrong or faulty. Don't talk about the shameful things. But anything that you keep in the shadows, anything that you keep in darkness will eventually rot inside of you. And I've seen this firsthand through witnessing my dad and his relationship to the things that happened to him when he was younger. There's less rotting going on for him now. He's gone through a process of talking and airing, and I think it's a very important part for us all to get to. First of all, you have to accept the fact that it happened to you. You've got to accept the fact. If you don't accept the fact, you're pushing it away, you're pushing it to the side, you're therefore putting it into darkness. That's going to rot. And it will rot from the within, and it will eventually show the cracks on the surface. This is often how disease is formed. Energetical components of life, energies, emotions, emotion, energy in motion. There are a lot of emotions that a lot of us aren't very well versed in. Don't know how to digest them. We don't know how to be with them, sit with them, hold them. So we push it to the side. But anything that we push to the side eventually catches up with us. And this is why I'm talking about what I'm talking about today. It seems no surprise to me that with everything that's going on in the world, first of all, we had the MeToo movement a few years ago. People started to come out about things that have happened, and we've got more and more and more things coming out. And I've been through the process of living underneath all of this pain, all of these programs, all of these distorted beliefs about myself, my world, the world, and my place in it. And I've moved beyond it. I mean, there are still areas that I still have to uncover, but this is where I'm at now. And I was 5 miles back that way just 5 years ago. The last 5 years have really been a big catapult into aggressive healing, fast-tracked. And if you're somebody that's gone through any kind of sexual abuse, the first place that you should begin with is working through your chakra system, working from the bottom to the top. What's at the bottom? The root. The energy associated with this is fear and survival. And then you move up and move up and move up. And honestly, there are 7, they call them the 7 sins, the 7 challenging emotions. They're really the only ones that we ever really need to work through. Any emotion comes off one of those 7. So working from the ground up, healing from the root is a process that I've taken myself through over the last 10 years. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. A little bit of a scatty message, but I'm going to commit to making more longer form YouTube videos. And eventually I'll refine my craft. For now, it is just a bit spotty, a little bit free flow. But here is a slightly longer version with some extra information pertaining to the video I did yesterday on Instagram, which got 5,500 views. Never had that on a video before. So if anything that I said has made impact, interest, triggered you, I'd really love to know. So please engage with me in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in connecting with people. I live such an isolated life and I'm so here for new connections. So please reach out. I'm genuinely interested to connect with you and to see how you are finding your journey. Thank you. Come again.